Ah, beautiful music coming there from Voices of Heaven. Jesus saves, and He does. All right, no, that's me now listening to the song. But the title of the song is Yahweh Saves. Yahweh saves. He still does, even today, and that's how Vane and Rousseau, together with Sis Janine, with Janine, have said goodbye to us. Thank you so much for an awesome time with you guys, and together with Pastor Roki. May God awesomely bless you all. Have a blessed day. Family, how are you doing? And this is just for you, with you, up until 11 o'clock. And today we're going to turn the day upside right. And it's going to turn it upside right. And we are turning it upside right because we are going to start with our discussion first, and then we are going to have the word from the Word by Dr. Derek Prince in the second hour, and we are going to have a devotional message by Pastor Nozipo Rakolota in the second hour. Alrighty then, my family. At this present moment in time, should I do the hand thing, Muruti? Should I do the hand applause, because you haven't been with us in 2024? Should I do this? How are you, Muruti Legodi? Muruti, I'm talking to Muruti Legodi. Let me just say first, Muruti. I'm talking to Pastor Solomon Lesiba Legodi from Second Chance Recovery Center, and we are talking ons praat oor alcohol vandag. And Second Chance Recovery Center is a halfway house where after a person has gone through rehabilitation, they will go to the Second Chance Recovery Center and continue their healing journey right there. They will continue their healing journey right there. And he is on the line. Murut, Tobe, Laman.
Happy 2024.
Happy 2024 to you. And
it's good to be back to the family.
How's the Lord keeping you ever since Jan? I mean, we are just about to say goodbye to Fab, but how has the Lord been?
We've seen the Lord. We are just enjoying the speed in which God is just taking us in this year. We're just enjoying the cruise of the year. We are excited. We are aspiring for more in what we are already seeing in the year. So we are there. We cannot wait to see more of what the Lord shall do this year.
So when we end this year, we need to look back and say, look what the Lord has done in our lives.
Oh, yes.
And not to mean that 2024 won't come with challenges, right?
For sure.
Muruti, you and I, for the previous years, I think in previous 2 years, we spoke about Habli Babli. I think, no. The first time it was in 2021. We took a break from it. We came back to it in 2023 and 2022. So, no, in 2022, we didn't talk about it. We spoke about it in 2023, and we did it like twice with you. And we were talking about the seriousness of Habli Babli, like the serious dangers that are there, that it's worse than even nicotine. And I was so excited over the weekend to see even one of our channels on TV now, after all these years, talking about the dangers of Habli Babli. I remembered that inside Habli Babli, there's nyaupe, there's tar. The tar yaskontiri, the tar that we drive on. There's tar. That freaks me out. When I think about that, it freaks me out. There's rat poison in there. And you buy these things, they smell so nice. They might have, what do you call, a strawberry flavor. They might have pineapple flavor and all these kind of flavors. But at the end of the day, you will find all of that in there. You mentioned also that there is, what is that? Now I forget that drug that is like really worse than any other drug. Once you're hooked on that, I remember you mentioned that drug. Now it's running away from my mind, but I remember that that drug is also found in that, and that drug is also found in Nyaupe, and some of the tick abusers, they also take that
Mm.
drug, and yo Moruti, to see now people who are sick because of Habli Babli, I was like, wow. What a wow. Because
Yes.
we spoke about it. I remember mentioning some of the ones that I read about, but now seeing others on TV who are now sick. It's now a lifetime chronic disease that the hospitals are dealing with. Their lungs are filled with water. And why do people chase after these dangerous things, Muruti, in the name of fun though?
I think media, in a way, has contributed to how young people, especially, are more hooked on the idea of abusing this kind of things. Mostly, when you are looking into music videos, you find that a lot of people in music videos, they are either smoking or either using happy public, or it is just a nice TV series that people love, where as part of fun, they're just smoking it and taking it. I remember there's one of the biggest, shows in South Africa where, it was just there as part of fun.
Mm,
But they never really show the dangerous effects of what seems fun in those TV shows or in those music videos. All they
mm,
just show is just the fun part of it. And so young people, because they want to, how when you are young, you just want to associate with what looks like cool or success or beautiful.
mm.
So you want to be part of that. And by you being part of that, you end up losing what is now, something that is supposed not to be used. You now lose your morals, you lose your sense of health at the expense of saying, I want to be, cool. I want to be part of this group. I want to be, part of those who are considered to be in season in a church language, So those are some of the things that hook our young people into these things. At times, the only group that can welcome you, that feels like they love you, is a group that is smoking happily. So you somehow find yourself more hooked and more loving to this particular, drug, and to this particular, thing that makes people now, these days to now lose themselves, because media is also contributing. Parents are also contributing. They are also part of the problem today, where you find parents are also inhaling this thing into the house. It's there. It's just part of the beauty of the house. Over the weekend, they are all smoking it, and you are growing a generation of people who will soon not be able to live a healthy life, simply because the parents have also contributed. Instead of saying, in this house we are not going to be addicted to this thing, we will not even buy it, by all means consume it in the house. But you find that also parents are assisting. You go to some schools, you find that there are also teachers that are also partaking into this thing. So during whatever, I'm not sure how you call them, but in locations you find Orvarigiri badge, where you'll find where there are particular teachers who are also, on Hablibab, and that creates a problem to the message that is being said, to say don't do it, but it is okay for teachers to do it. So one would say, but the same air is breathing, I'm also breathing, so I'm going to also partake in this particular. So
Then it's a
all of the
problem.
people,
Yeah.
then that becomes a problem. So you want to, have the people who are in a place of authority, teachers, parents, pastors, teachers, and everyone who can be in a place of authority, to find a way to live that life where it's beyond approach, where even when you are talking to a young person and say, we are not going to do this, they are able to listen. They might be fighting not to do it, but at least they have something that they are looking up onto, which is a part of an alternative. I'm not going to do this. This is what I will do. If young people need an alternative, you can't say don't do it without an alternative. Give them something to do while they are not doing it. So part of the problem is we really have recreational things as well that could keep them motivated, that they should not even indulge in this
Sure.
dangerous thing.
Sure. I'm also thinking about what we see when alcohol is being advertised. It looks so appealing. You think this is the coolest life, only the rich you become rich, or and they look good.
Mm,
But what we see in
mm,
the township is totally different from what alcohol can do. I've heard of
yes.
others saying you can drink it responsibly. And when you're drinking it responsibly in your house, just one glass or whatever, then you are okay. Rather than if you would just drink anyhow and wherever. I have seen a lot of people who have bumped themselves, their faces, and they look restructured because they've been falling over quite a lot when they are drunk. Others have also. I remember I had somebody coming into studio talking about that, but now he's rehabilitated. Praise the Lord for that. He said he had lost like more than 4 cars because he did like accidents 4 times with all new cars, because he was drunk. He would be drunk going to work, drunk going home. So he says it was like really bad. I smashed my cars and I lost a lot of money, but we thank God that he was rehabilitated. These are the things that are not advertised to us. What are the dangers that are there with alcohol? Because we also see people defending alcohol, going back to the word of God and saying something like, the Lord Jesus Christ said, you need it. You need it for your health. And so we know about those. So, what are the dangers that are there as well?
No, there
Or
are
or
a
are there
couple
pros
of
and
them.
cons? Or are there pros and cons?
Maybe let me put it in this manner to come and answer, or reply to what you are asking. Maybe let me say, you know, alcoholism has a way of damaging relationships. Its effects can also be on the family, marital issues, and also on the family finances. I'm going to come to those things as we continue with our conversation. But one of the things it means that the misuse of alcohol may blow through the family budget, cause fights, ignore children, and otherwise impair the health and happiness of the people that they love. In time, family members may even develop symptoms of codependency, inadvertently keeping their addiction alive, even though it means, or rather, even though it harms them as a family. So, these are some of the things that alcohol does. It will make everyone within the family, to even when they don't like it, but they'll find themselves, endorsing the addiction. So
Mm,
part of what alcohol does is that when people start neglecting neglecting their important duties, it means now they are no longer thinking straight. They are no longer, physically, they are no longer capable of doing things that they used to do, because now alcohol is now taking over. I mean, even their responsibilities, associated with work, home, their lives, their schooling, this is what alcohol does. It makes them neglect these important duties. And over time, you then lose important things in your life. And you can't blame it on anything except on the choice of taking that first glass and enjoying, the second glass tomorrow. Needing time, to nurse hangovers. This is what alcohol will do to a person. A person will need a time to nurse the hangover. Hangover, they call it babalazo I am, where you drank
yeah.
excessively yesterday. Now the following day, there's something that says, look, you are done drinking, but I need my treatment. Now you have, to take care of it. So what it will do is that it has its side effects. There are short side effects of it. So hangover will obviously, attend your physical state temporarily. So,
Mm,
but it can significantly disrupt a person's ability to meet commitments, as well as invite unhealthy behaviors such as poor eating and lack of exercise. That is what you see normally with people who drink alcohol. The following day they need a hangover. If they are at work, chances are they will not perform well because of the hangover, even though the in denial state of the person will say, but I do work well. But we
mm.
know the truth is that if you are not taking care of the hangover or nursing the hangover, you would probably be performing better than what you are saying it's best. So that's what alcohol will do to people.
Hmm.
Again, it will also make one encounter legal problems, meaning drinking can increase a person's likelihood of getting into fights, displaying disorderly conduct in public, driving under the influence where you are also, at danger of harming a whole lot of people this time, and becoming involved in domestic disputes or violence. You mentioned something before you asked my question to say that people who drink at home as what they call responsible, but finding themselves hitting walls and doing all kinds of things, and they have in some way, injured themselves. So what alcohol does is that it makes you think that you're okay. So alcohol, you have what we call depressants, we have what we call hallucinogens, and you have what we call uppers. Now, with uppers or
I
hypers,
remember you mentioned that
yes,
some time back. So, are
yes,
you going to explaining these three?
yes, I want
Okay.
to explain them so that I can come back to the alcohol part. So hypers or uppers are drugs that give you hype and energy. These are your crystal meth, these are your cocaine. Then you have a hallucinogen where you take this drug, you start seeing things or feeling things that are not there. So these are your data. So normally people who take data, either they feel or they see things that are not, that rather we are not seeing. And then data can also be part of the depressant, because after you take data, you now start feeling a bit depressed, you feel a bit slow. You are no longer as active as you should. So alcohol is part of the depressant kind of drugs, where after you drink it, your muscles want to relax. So that is why when people get into alcohol, they start feeling a bit lazy. And that's where a problem can come. They might feel like someone who's more active is posing a danger to them. So they might become violent towards their spouse or towards their partner. And this can cause a lot of problems. So when they're driving, they might feel a bit of relaxation, and they would allow the car to drive itself, end up killing people and killing themselves as well. So this is what we are saying you will encounter legal problems. The inability to stop at will, meaning alcohol does not give you a chance to stop at will. It's now taking over. In a way, you have submitted to it, you have given it control. Alcohol is that addictive. So if you're taking alcohol, we are told that, you should not take up a particular amount of alcohol, don't, drink at home, just have one glass, and all of these things. But we know they are saying them as a means of trying to control. But the real question is, have these things really worked? And if they have not worked, the advice would obviously be, do not get into them. Do not engage in any way abusing substances. Yes,
Sometimes,
yes,
Muruti. Yeah, sometimes, Muruti, there are people who say, I am strong. Like what I've heard, even with the hubbly bubbly part, is that the victims now who are the victims to hubbly bubbly now, who are sick because of hubbly bubbly, are told by others that no, you're not strong enough, you're weak. That's why you're sick and we're not. So sometimes people believe that they are that strong as well, even when it comes to alcohol. Is there anything like that? Can everybody else, or should I say, can everybody be addicted to alcohol?
yes.
Okay.
Remember, these are habits. These are habits. This is something that you do over time. It might take time before some are really addicted, but it's an addiction. And we have to talk on the stages of addiction as well. Now, you have people who only drink alcohol on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, they will never touch alcohol. Then you have the same people who are drinking only on weekends. If there is, maybe let's say there's a funeral somewhere, there's a wedding somewhere, or a party or a celebration somewhere, meaning they might drink on weekend and probably drink again on Wednesday in the celebration. So the person
They
who
call
said I
them
only drink on
occasional
weekend,
drinkers.
they are occasional drinkers, meaning they are in that stage of addiction. They are not saying, or they are not classifying them as addicts, but that is a part of the stages of addiction. Now,
Okay.
you are going to get into a stage where you are drinking and there's what we call a hangover. Now, you must cleanse up the hangover on Monday, meaning on Monday, you might not want a cold water. You might not want something that is a bit hot in terms of taste. So you might also want to have the same alcohol brand you had yesterday. You might need it today. So you will drink Saturday, Friday up until Monday to deal with the hangover.
Mm.
One day you'll also want to drink on Tuesday, and you'll end up drinking the whole week. That is addiction. So people think just because they are not like the one who's going to rehab, they do not see a problem with them. But these are signs, these are habits that everyone who is addicted to them. You might go for 3 years without any sign of you looking like you are addicted, but it is an addict. As soon as now your finances, one or the other, you are planning even on, buying this thing and end up, finding ways to have debt on it to, clean up this. So this is a sign you are now becoming addicted. Some will say, look, I drink, but my health is still fine. Well, slow poison. The fact that you have not showed any sign that your kidneys are being affected by alcohol does not mean your kidneys are not affected. I mean, woman of God, let me ask you a question, to the family and maybe to you, to say, can all of us be thrown into a pool of water and one person, just one, come out of the water without being wet?
It's impossible.
So how is it that someone will say, I am strong? It's just that you have not entered. A day will come where you realize this thing has been eating me up. This thing has caused
Slowly
problems
but
for me.
surely.
You are getting it. And so that is, it's like, some of the food that we eat. It might not show that it's causing somehow, you are being told if you eat too much starch, it will end up causing, sugar into your body that might cause sugar diabetes later on in life. So if we do not adhere to them, unfortunately, one or the other, we are getting that. So a balanced meal becomes an issue to say, I will eat it. And which one is best? To, drink water as a medicine or to drink water as a means of ways of life. Because there are people who don't necessarily enjoy drinking water. Now they have to drink water because it's medicine. I went to Man of Power to one of our clinics, and I've seen how they run dialysis. Dialysis is that thing that helps, the body where the kidneys have failed. So dialysis helps. That thing is painful. You see people there. There are people who give up in life because they do not want to go back into that machine.
Yeah.
Because that machine is painful.
Yeah.
And what pains my heart is that you are there looking at all these elders crying, with regret to say, if only I had listened one time that I should not take that alcohol. And now look at where I am. I know one man who passed on who once said, I am tired. I'm not going back to clinic. I am tired. I would rather lose my life. That thing is painful. And so these are things we are trying to warn people on, to say, alcohol, it is dangerous even though it is advertised well. It does not matter whether there are any other things that they show us on TV. They are showing you on TV where, somehow it's even sweating and you are wondering if I can just get this thing. They are making your alcohol free. They are just, there's one particular brand where they have made an alcohol-free, and you see a 5-year-old drinking an alcohol-free. But I'm thinking you are damaging the mind of the child. By the time they're 21, they will be saying, I've been drinking alcohol-free. Now I have the key. They will want the power or the kick of the real thing. And this you have just introduced to them. Remember, the people who are making these things, they really don't care. All they want is sales. They just want the profits thereof. So now, as families, as a community, we need to understand that any consumption of alcohol, it will result in some way or the other affecting our health. Our kidneys will be affected. Our liver will also be affected. And as we continue, the other thing that we find is that our family members will begin to lose them. I've seen people in my neighborhood where families don't want them anymore because they are forever drunk. They can't reason. They cannot be of help in any way within the household. If people are talking, they find it as if people don't want them. So what they will do is they will then fight what is supposed to help them. If to say in the household, we want to put in a ceiling in the house, they will say, yeah, you are talking about putting a ceiling, but you have never given me a chance to at least find my people that can put in the ceiling. And it's an unnecessary fight. You want to put in the ceiling. If you can't put it, we'll find someone who can. But because of what alcohol did, it has even damaged their power of reasoning. They can't even reason well. That's
Yeah.
what alcohol does
All right.
to some of us even within families. Yes.
All right. Let's do this, Muruti, and then continue with you.
One vision, one voice, one message. Radio Pulpit 657 AM and 729 Cape Pulpit, impacting lives from Gauteng to the Cape.
Wondering where to advertise? Get your business advertising sorted for the year. Receive a discount of up to 50% included in our Radio Pulpit advertising packages. Also, get 2 advertising packages per month for the price of 1 when you advertise for 12 months or more. Business package rates start from under 6,000 Rand per package. Send your details to gospel@radiopulpit.co.za and we will contact you, or visit radiopulpit.co.za. T's and C's apply.
Met die afsterwe van 'n geliefde moet 'n mens te midde van die hartseer ook nog 'n begrafnis laat realiseer. By Martins begrafnisdienste in Voortrekkerstraat 38 Benoni staan Gerard of Marlien de Bond jou by om 'n begrafnis bekostigbaar te hou. Kontak hulle gerus by Johannesburg 422 5224 of alle ure by Johannesburg 744 0155.
You're listening to Radio Pulpit, your daily companion, 657 AM. This is where you at. And yes, I am Sibongile Mofokeng with you up until 11 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock, Germany, Yanni Belsa will come through with Perspective Vandaag. And yeah, just to also remind family, if you have been wondering where you can advertise or where to advertise, you can get your advertising sorted right here at Radio Pulpit, sorted for a year. You receive up to 50% discount included in our Radio Pulpit promotional packages and receive an additional promotional package per month to the same value when you advertise for 6 months or more. And business package rates start from under 6,000 rands per package. Not only is this a great value, but also, you also keep Radio Pulpit on the airwaves by advertising with us. So send us your details to gospel@radiopulpit.co.za and we will contact you. Alternatively, you can contact our client services on 012-334-1254. It's 012-334-1254. Alternatively, send an SMS with the word advertise to 37871 37871 or visit our Radio Pulpit website, which is radiopulpit.co.za. Do remember that terms and conditions always do apply.
Tune in to Radio Pulpit on 657 AM for reliable Christian talk radio at its best. Find your daily dose of Christ-centered motivation and encouragement on Radio Pulpit 657. Download our app now. Tune in to radiopulpit.co.za or find us on DSTV Audio 882 and OpenView 607. Radio Pulpit, your daily companion for more than 40 years, brings a relevant moral alternative to 400,000 listeners in a variety of South African languages. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and download our podcasts today.
It is 657 AM, your daily companion. Just for use the name of the show with me, Spangile Mofokeng, with you up until 11 o'clock. And I see you, Frank Jacobs, saying, great show, love the topic. Thank God that I am a non-drinker. Wow, we thank God for that. And he says, good morning to my spiritual family. Good morning, sister, and your guests. And good morning to you, Your Excellency. Thank you so much for joining in and being with us. It's always an honor. And thank you so much for always participating as well. May God awesomely bless you. One thing, Muruti, that people are not aware of as well, or not even one thing, some of the factors also that are there as a result of taking alcohol, drinking alcohol, and people are not even aware of that, are that alcohol can cause weight gain. And because it carries a lot of kilojoules, but people are not even aware. I remember that at some point, I think I was at school when they mentioned how it is, what is that? Saturated with sugar. It turns into sugar in the body, which turn into lipids in the body, and lipids are going to be stored somewhere, which is fat, is going to be stored somewhere on the body. And that then makes one looks obese. That makes someone look obese. And people are not aware of it, that the obesity that we have, the pot bellies, some, not all of them, sorry. But I remember somebody saying a birpens, that there is one that is caused by alcohol because of the sugar that now it's turned into lipids that stores itself around the stomach lining, and it becomes now a person looks obese. And apparently they say a person can, or like alcohol can make a person hungry, and it can lead to cravings for salty and greasy food. Now, the greasy food, the salty food will open someone for blood pressure issues, will open someone for diabetes mellitus as well. So that person might not have been born with it or might not have contracted it innocently, but they might have gotten diabetes or blood pressure issues from alcohol. There are such people. So we need to be like really, really wary of this. I also ask myself a question, why some of the parents would give alcohol to their children if it's this deadly? Aren't they aware of the deadliness that it carries?
Yes.
Because I get there are some parents, Christmas. Every child should have, out of the six, whatever, every child should have a bottle and go celebrate.
Imagine.
What are we doing to our children during that time? I'm asking myself because I know that it also affects the liver, right?
Yes. And can you imagine a liver of a 7-year-old that has been given alcohol? I mean, everything that enters the body has to pass through them. Now, you have just given them something very strong. There's something about alcohol, woman of power. Alcohol, it's not like your other fizzy drinks. Other fizzy drinks, you drink them and you get full. Alcohol never gets full. I don't know I really don't know.
Just hold it right there. Let's take a family member. Let's take a family member. Hi, family. How are you?
Hello, my queen, Sister Sibongile.
Sithembekile babu Vilakazi.
Siyabonga umfowethu Legodi wavula amehlo ngehabli babli.
Eish. Babu Vilakazi.
Ukuthi lento i-dangerous kanjani ngoba lento even nakumaphathisi uthole kuhlelo abantu abadala la nabo abantwana ekhoneni babhema lento. Today sibonile lapha kule slot se-TV ukuthi lento iyingozi kanjani. A young woman ube ne-future ne-saloon, everything she's gone.
Eish.
So habli babi lento dangerous. And better to what you are saying about alcohol. Alcohol is more diluted in men than in women. People who are drinking a lot of alcohol are overweight and they're so shit. A high consumption of alcohol doubles the risk of suffering a stroke or a heart attack. Few weeks bekwabo omunye umngane wami ongazwanga nangamtshela ngezwi kaJehova waqhubeka ngokuphuza utshwala. Unkosikazi yangitshela ukuthi Mr. Vilakazi lo muntu lo phela ubese nezinto eziningi, a cirrhosis of the liver, a ruptured kidney, and bathi futhi i-brain damage. Lo muntu uyabona ukuthi ulento uphilile lo muntu uzoba ikhabishi. So time lama topic kanje siwafake now and then ukuvusa abantu. Ngoba izwe liyafa abafowethu liyafa. And in the inflammation of pancreas and the cancer of the digestive tract, the mouth, throat. You understand?
Thank you so much, Babu Vilakazi. Thank you so much. We are faithful.
Thank you. uNkulunkulu anibusise. Siqhubeke ngaleli vangeli lo lento. Nasemasontweni mayifakwe lento i-alcohol nama-habli bhali nawo. Batshelwa abantu.
Yes, thank you.
Ngiyabonga uNkulunkulu anibusise, to God be the glory.
Wow, that is
Right.
Babu Vilagazi saying even our churches should talk about this. Even our everywhere we should talk about it as like these are the topics that we need to address. Habli
Yes.
bablis, nyaupe, because we only think, most of us, we only look at nyaupe as the drug, but we forget about your alcohol, we forget about all the others, body habli babli. So he says we need to talk about this, and he says these are very dangerous. Some people have had pancreatic diseases as a result of this, liver cancers, because of alcohol. And he was talking about somebody that he knew that he would even minister Christ to, like share Christ with, share the gospel with. And this person didn't want to take Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. And this person died. And the wife said he had developed all these things, brain damage. And I remember that Dr. Tlailani says when he was in medical school, every time they didn't know an answer, they didn't have an answer. They'll just write alcohol for any disease, alcohol, and you would get a mark for that. So alcohol is very dangerous. Muruti, I know I have to let you go, and I must say Babu Vilagaz is one of those who have requested that we also address alcohol some time back. So thank you, family members, for bringing those to us so that we know exactly what you'd like us to discuss as well. So Muruti, I know I have to release you. Your time, I know it's up. What do you say to the family?
To family members who have not yet experimented with alcohol, please do not. To those who are experimenting with alcohol, find a way to get into your nearest, substance abuse treatments where they can assist you before you get damaged and too much into the alcohol abuse issues. May you find help. I truly believe even with the radio pulpit, there are ways that you can get assistance. But whatever thing you do, find your way out of this addiction. They still help. There are people, your family loves you, the community loves you, we love you. We just want you to be fine. Come and still know that Jesus is still the best help of them all. And may you come into his best hands that can best assist you.
Sure, Muruti, I know that you're going back to your boys at Second Chance Recovery Center. May the Lord be with you guys, and may they also conquer whatever that they are facing. And thank you for being in that space. I know that your numbers are 012-805-6999, but the cell phone that you normally give, which one again?
The one we give is 081 754
754
4484.
081
081 754 84484.
844.
No, 4484. 754 4484.
Okay, can you start it for the last time, Muruti? 081
081 754 4484.
4484. All right. Thank you so much, Muruti. I missed it somewhere. So thank you so much. May God awesomely bless you. Have a beautiful one. We'll be talking to you again very soon. We'll be looking into another one that we might think, sisilo, kati, hey, kisilo. So you better run away from that. Have a beautiful one and pass our love and greetings. Go Second Chance Recovery Center.
Thank you, and may you have a blessed one as well, together with the family.
Bye, Muruti. Wow. Hey, yeah, alcohol. May the Lord help those who have already or who are already finding themselves addicted to alcohol. And may the Lord also be your strength. And the Lord also be your courage. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy at all. And let me give you the numbers again. If you'd like to contact Second Chance Recovery Village, either you want to talk to Muruti or somebody else, you can call 012 805 6999. Is 012 805 6999. Alternatively, you can call 081 754 4484. It's 081 754 4484. And yes, let's keep praying for our loved ones that we know are hooked on these drugs and they're finding it hard to stop the habit, to continue in their tracks. And they need our help. They need our support. They need our prayers. They need our love. They need God's help. It's awesome always to see somebody saying, I was hooked on this. Look at God. Look at what God had done in my life.